Hello.
There's nobody here.
Let's wait for me to come in.
Talking to
Hello,
yourself.
guys. Yeah, we're a bit late, but nevertheless, we are here. So let's wait for the people to join us. Let's see who is really going to come here first. Then maybe also connecting right here. Hello. One person joining here. Hello, who is there? Please let us know.
You got it? I can just monitor the chat from here too.
Okay. Who is watching us? Hello. How are you? That is. Hi, I can't even mention the name. Hello from India. Okay. How are you? Thank you for joining. We are quite late. We had said we are going to be here by 5.
Is this 5 or 6?
5. That's what we had said. But we
Sorry,
are late.
guys. You've
Oh
gone
my
time.
God, 22 people watching us already. Hi, please let us know where you're watching us from. Hello, Vicky. How are you doing? Hi, guys. How are you all doing, guys? We are quite late. We are very sorry, guys. We apologize. We really apologize, but at least we are here with you guys. We are here to talk about so much. We are here to talk about so much, of course, with you guys, share with you guys our experience in farming. But before we dive into all that, I think we need to introduce ourselves. What do you think? What do you think?
Sure.
Yeah, because we have so many followers. This, I think, it is really so long since we last did a live stream. I've never done a live stream with you.
I have not done a live stream ever on this channel. I don't even know how you got me to agree to this.
Yes.
I don't know how many people is in there watching now, but I guess we can start.
Yes.
So you want to do your introduction?
Of course, I can't say the rise and shine and all that, you know. It is already evening. I always say the rise and shine in the morning.
In the morning.
Yeah, but it's late in the evening. But of course, for those who are new on the channel, of course, people who have been there for a long time, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Tina. I am one of the directors of Value Farm. For those who are new to the channel, I know you guys have really watched the videos, and we really appreciate you guys so much. Yeah, and of course I have my co-director right here. You can also say hello to you guys.
Come
and
on.
Introduce.
Hi
I'm not so
everybody,
used to
my name is Grafton. As my business partner here mentioned, I guess we're both co-founders of Value Farm. And so, yeah, we're here because it's been a long time since Tina came to you guys live. And there's been so many questions that was being asked on WhatsApp and emails. We figured we'd come live and come to the people's court and give you guys an update, answer some of your questions, and then, you know, just to let you guys see what it's like when we're not at the farm.
It's so interesting to be, you know, to be live and also answer your questions. Guys, can you hear us clearly? Because we might be talking to ourselves.
No, I think they can hear us.
So let's first read who are those who are watching us today.
Well, I think we have Tashawn Marie. We have a bunch of people in here.
Oh my
So
God.
guys, for your questions, just so you guys know, because we might get a decent amount of people here. For those of you who actually want to skip the line, just use the super chat. That goes towards buying my partner here coffee. That's what she loves. She lives for that. And but yeah, we'll definitely get to all of your questions.
Yeah. So today is the day you guys have to really ask your questions, of course, farm related and all that, because we are here to share. We're here to motivate you guys. You guys have been inspired, like from the videos. They really appreciate what we are doing.
Yeah.
So coming here live to at least answer your questions, because we get really so many questions on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Instagram.
And I gotta say, it's actually, I appreciate them reaching out. The only thing that I find interesting is sometimes people don't message you, they just call direct. And sometimes folks call at the most inopportune time, and like they call beyond business hours. I mean, granted, we are on the continent here. There's a major time difference.
Yeah.
But we're talking about people that are here in Uganda calling at 11 p.m., sometimes 12 p.m. That's the one thing that's a little. Oh, let me see. Yeah. You had anticipated that probably.
I know.
Yeah. That's
Sorry.
better. Yeah.
That's better now.
So yeah, sometimes people just call out very interesting times. But we love getting messages from you guys. I love getting IG messages from you guys out there. Thank you for following us on Instagram. The numbers are not looking as pedestrian
As they used to.
anymore. And yeah, so we actually have a fair amount of people in Gambia and Zambia,
Yeah.
even South Africa, Zimbabwe. But
Kenya as well.
we love just being a resource to you guys, and the experience has been definitely unique for me. It's been different, but in a good way, in a very positive way. So, yeah.
Wow, that is really so nice. So guys, feel free, ask your questions. We are here for you today. And of course, let us know where you're watching us from so that we can, also catch up with you guys so that we can know where you guys really love to watch, what you love about Value Farm, what you guys would really want us to do, because we've really done so much. There's a lot of content we've really discussed.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like we've covered everything.
You know the tricky thing about this? There are times we want to answer all of your questions, but the videos would be like 3 hours long.
True.
And we can't do that.
True.
When we get to the farm, it's one of those things where we're both working, and we also have to do our standard rounds, check on the animals, do the standard stuff that a farmer's supposed to do, and then try to sneak in time to also talk to you guys and record content. Then Tina has to edit everything.
Everything.
I'm not much of an editor. I have no editing skills at all. I'm usually the person behind the scenes.
But you verify the editing.
Yeah, I do. But in terms of the technical aspect of it, she's the expert. But no, it's been a wonderful experience so far.
That is so
coming to Uganda, starting the farm, and yeah, it's been great.
Wow, how do you feel about your experience as a foreigner in the country? Because we have so many people who are really inspired to come back here, and they feel like
it's
coming
been
back.
It's been a good experience. I mean, I've been fortunate because when I first came, in fact, before I came, I was very fortunate to actually have met you, obviously.
Yeah.
And then but prior to me, working with you on this level, I was also speaking to multiple other potential allies in the country on the ground. And, a few of them let me down, but that's life. And then you came into the picture, and it's been a really nice partnership. Like anything else, there's always a learning curve. But being in Uganda has been a dream come true, honestly, because the people are great. The people are super friendly. The one thing I can never really truly get used to, and I know it's custom, and again, please don't come for me for this. There are times like you do something nice for someone, based on the region you go to, they actually kneel down as a way to say thank you. I don't think I'm ever gonna get used to that.
Okay.
But
it's tradition.
I know it's tradition,
culture,
and it's, trust me, I know. But where I'm from, when somebody kneels, that's what children typically do on that side of the world, right?
True.
But here is very common, and that's the one thing that's I'm still adjusting to. But apart from that, everybody's been wonderful. I think what surprised me was just the way that people receive you here. The way they just treat you. Well, I can say me. Coming from the U.S., I had all those preconceived notions, right? Wasn't exactly quite sure what to expect. Obviously, you heed the warnings of people telling you, people will be snatching your phones.
At least I warned you before you came.
You might get kidnapped. All these crazy things can happen. But then once I got to Kampala and I actually settled down, it's just been a wonderful experience. Yeah.
Wow. Someone is asking us, when is Value Farm opening?
Well, the farm is funny you guys mentioned. So our builders actually took a hiatus because I don't know if you guys know, well, we mentioned this in a few videos before, where there's been a drastic slowdown in a scarcity of available building material. So we had to slow down just a tad bit because getting cement, getting roofing materials, the price was literally like 4 or 5 times higher than what it was supposed to be. And so some of our contractors, in fact, we did our best to try to source things throughout the region. And some of them actually ended up going back home on a break. And they'll be back on Wednesday. So in order to finish the roofing in the conference center and finish the other cottages that they've been working on. And we have electrical stuff happening within the next few weeks. So to answer your question, the farm should be open, I'm gonna say in another like 35 to 40 days. But we will be accepting visitors, on a case by case basis, right? Some people just want to come to the farm to see the goats. That's fine. We can fit that in. But it's one of those things, right? Before you invite somebody into your home, you don't want to invite people to your home with no furniture. You want to make sure that everything is ready because, this has been a real big project for me and my partner here. And we want to make sure that we give you guys the best experience when you get there. Great. I'm very thankful that the road situations have improved greatly. And the population of our animals have grown tremendously. And, we definitely have some more stuff on the horizon, impending trips for you. We definitely gonna also be getting out of the farm a little bit more as well to actually bring you guys, a more well-rounded, coverage of what's happening on the ground, not just at VF, but even just other farms also what's happening.
Because as a farmer, we always tell you guys that you need to go out,
visit other places, learn from what everybody else is doing, and see what you can take from those experiences. So
I'm really super excited. Like the builders are coming back very soon, so that we can update you guys. I feel we've not really been updating them so much on that, and I think most of them have been wondering what is really happening at Value Farm.
Well, everything is moving well. That's the thing. It's one of those things where, guys, the farm is sizable. If we literally took you on a tour, it would be one of those things where it's like over an hour plus of walking around. And, it's more one of those things. It's better when you're on the ground to really truly appreciate it. As they say, sometimes a picture never tells a full story.
That is true.
So we're looking forward to you guys coming so you can see, what's happening and how things are progressing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Apollo is saying he's a fruit farmer. Wow, that is really interesting. That is really so good. We have people from Zambia watching, New York City. Your people are watching
New York.
as well.
It's so funny. New York. A lot of people don't realize. I grew up in New York City. Like I spent over 23 years of my life in New York. Even during my career as a banker, I traveled outside. Is this my boy from Samaja Farm here?
Yes, he is the one.
You know what's so funny, bro? We have a video coming out that we actually referred some people to you in Ghana because you out there in West Africa, and we saw that you've been importing your goats, the Boer goats. So that video is coming out soon. But then we recently saw your latest video. It seemed like it was a bit challenging for you. We'll be actually going to South Africa, or Tina's going to be going to South Africa to actually fully establish the proper registration for VF and a reputable South African breeder of the pure Boer goats. So that way you guys will be able to come purchase your Boer goats directly from Value Farm for the stud quality, and making sure that we do everything up to standard so that the East African region can be properly represented. But we're also partnering with a few other farmers to ultimately bring together the East African Goat Breeders Association. We're doing it for Uganda, and hopefully our neighboring partner countries, on the East Coast can partner with us, Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's exciting. So
Yeah.
Samaja, thank you for
Someone is
joining us.
saying, is saying, I know, and you guys have been an inspiration for me. Thank you. Looking forward to
You're
working
welcome,
more
man.
with you
You're
guys.
welcome.
Love you.
That's so
We
nice.
love you too. We watch
I'm
your
so
videos.
proud of this man from Samaja Farms because I remember watching his videos when he first started. I remember when he first started with his poultry project, you know, like the passion and his kind heart. And I know he's been dealing with some difficulties out there, but I love the direction the farm is going. In fact, it's funny, we inspire him. He's inspired us because, you know, what he's doing with the seeds. It's almost as if this man has a way to read our minds.
I know. Sometimes I feel like, what's happening here?
Because, like, you know, I'm a huge advocate for the brachiaria grass and growing, you know, your feeds before you get your animals onto your farm. And it's so wonderful to see like the work that he's doing for Ghana plus the West African region. And we wish him nothing but success. So,
wow, that is really so good. How many people are watching us? 58 people. Please give us a like as well. You know, when you like the video, it's going to be recommended to other people. Let's bring other people on ground, you know. We want all of us to chat, at least chat today, because this is live. You're not watching a video that you're going to leave a comment somewhere. So in case you have your questions, please ask them as well, because we are here to also answer all those burning questions, the ones you've sent before and maybe have not been responded on time. Please ask them right now. But we really appreciate you guys so much. I'm seeing so many people here saying they're really inspired. You guys motivate us to come here all the time, to do the content, to share what we are sharing, and openly share what we are doing at Value Farm. We're not selfish people.
No.
To, you know, hide some of the things. We are here openly. Want other people to also join the farming family, so that we can be so many in the continent as well.
And the thing is, you know, for a lot of you that when we speak to people that are in the diaspora, even those of you that are not Ugandan, you know, because I know for a fact right now, there's a bunch of my American friends and colleagues that are escaping to Mexico, that are escaping to Lisbon and Portugal, that are going to places like Belize. Some of them have decided to leave to go to DR, which is the Dominican Republic. Yeah. Some of them has made the decision to even go to places like Trinidad and Tobago throughout the Caribbean. Guys, I mean, I love Mexico, I love Colombia, I love Brazil, but Uganda is wonderful. The continent is so vast, and there's such a need for farmers on the continent. It's just wonderful to be able to come home. True story, like I considered going to Belize initially. Belize as a country is only 40 minutes from the US on a plane, but something in my soul was pulling me to the continent, because let me tell you guys, it brings such joy to me and my partner here when we create employment opportunities for the local people in the region, when we actually see real estate developing around the area the farm is currently located, and that electricity lines are actually being run through the whole region. And so, but like the beauty there is, you know, we did open the farm in a very small town, but that town has grown tremendously.
I remember that time we had just come to the village. I know most of you have been asking, by the way, those are some of the questions we have been asking. Where is Value Farm located?
We're in Lorero, Champologoma. And
village.
But the beauty, we're seeing the village changing. But the beauty with what we want to do for the area is we would love to actually, we have enough land. We would love to also give back by opening a school for the region, opening an actual hospital that's within the village where we're located. Because like right now, when let's say one of our workers are not well, they have to go about 45 minutes to an hour away to seek real medical attention. We want to actually make that available in town for the people that's within the community where the farm is located. And at some point open at least, you know, a mid-sized school because some of the kids in the area, they walk
They
between
walk long
7
distances.
to 10 kilometers each way to go to school.
That is
So
true.
when we open, we definitely going to take a portion of our proceeds from what we do as a company, and we're going to build that school in the community. We're going to build a hospital in the region, and also
Police post we are going to
we
open.
we have earmarked some land to actually build a police station in town, and yeah, trying to do the best we can to help our region.
Yeah.
And it's a privilege. I love those people. Well, they're my people because I'm a part of the community as well.
Yes.
And yeah.
Officially registered in the community.
Yeah.
Remember, guys, when you're buying land in Uganda or everywhere, I think, I don't know how it is in your place. When you buy land, you have to be introduced to the community,
To the whole community, to the whole village. Yeah.
Then they register, so that local chairperson has to write down, get your initials, get all
Make
your
sure you
details.
do that, because if you
Yes.
purchase land and you're not introduced to the community, believe me, other people could try to go behind your back
True.
and they could try to sell your land.
That is so
But
true.
so you need that town council to recognize you guys as the actual owner of your property.
Yeah,
So that's an added layer of protection that you have.
that is so true.
Yeah.
Mr. B is watching from Jamaica. Jamaican living in the UK.
I love my jerk. Listen, nobody loves jerk chicken more than me.
Are you serious?
Yeah, not
Okay.
just jerk chicken. I love jerk pork, jerk shrimp. You know, one of my favorite dishes of all time is Rasta pasta. There's a place in Brooklyn, New York, that makes the best Rasta pasta of all time, unless you go to Jamaica. I've been to Kingston like 4 times in Jamaica, so yeah, Montego Bay. I'm
Oh,
a
wow.
big fan of but I also love Jamaican content.
Yeah.
Mr. Trevor
Trevor?
Bernard is also somebody that I love. In fact, the next time I make it out to Jamaica, I know he's busy. I would love to actually sit down, meet with him. There's also former Khalil on the island.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan, so yeah.
Yeah, there's someone here also, Shannon. She's saying she's in Jamaica doing piggery, and
Nice.
this channel has been very helpful to her.
Well, that's awesome. That's good to hear.
Yeah, there's someone here. Let me say, I may not read everyone's comment, guys, but at least we are trying to touch everything here and there. But you can still leave your questions down below so that we can see which ones you could really answer. Melissa is saying, nope, I'm coming to Africa continent again, especially Uganda or Zambia or Zimbabwe.
Listen, let me tell you guys, I actually spoke to a young brother. He's from Brooklyn, New York also. He's in Zambia with, and he's retired from the military, very young actually. And he decided to go to Zambia. He's actually starting a goat and sheep farm out there.
Okay.
We're also helping him in terms of mentorship and guidance. Let me tell you, the money we spend in this region on the continent is so much more valuable. Listen, before I made the decision to come to the continent here, I traveled to Australia. I've been all over the place. And in many instances, when you go to those European countries, like your money is just like whatever, you know. But when you come to the continent here, you know, your dollars, your euros, your pounds, they go a very long way. And let's face it, value farm at the speed and the rate on which we're growing, sad to say, would not be possible in Arizona, because that's my favorite. I love New York. I'm from New York. I represent New York all day. But I actually own 120 acres of land in Arizona. And I wanted to open my farm in the US. If I wanted to open a duck farm and goat farm, I wanted to do ducks, goats, and ultimately, you know, perhaps goats in that region. And the level of restriction and regulation just makes it downright impossible. To know that you can come to Uganda or anywhere on the continent and, you know, with a quarter of the money you would need at home, you could have such an impact here is insane. The irony here, you can spend far less money on the continent in terms of you making a financial commitment, right?
Okay.
And end up not just helping people, but your business can definitely flourish to the point where it's possible to make more money here on the continent than back home. Because back home, the tax rates, the restrictions, the regulations, the structure, Imagine opening a pig farm in America. You would have to literally spend, if you want to do commercial, based on where you live, your state, the city, the restrictions, like the standard that you would have to build your structure, you're looking at least $500,000 if you want to do commercial level,
Yeah.
right? And then that's just you getting started. But then getting those contracts, because let's face it, there's only a few companies that control the meat industry in America. And if you can't do things to their standard, you know, if you can't take out those huge loans and go behind the 8 ball for like 20 years, you're not going to be let in the club. And even after you spend the money, there's no guarantee they're actually going to keep working with you.
Wow.
You know, so come to the continent and start something. And it doesn't have to be a farm. It could be anything that your heart, you know, that you feel passionate about doing. Obviously for us is agriculture. But yeah.
Wow. Someone is saying we should partner with Semaja. Let me read this.
Samaja, I would love to partner with you, especially with the seeds.
Can partner with Semaja Farms and bring Ugandan type of goats to Ghana. We shall patronize it. We behind the different goat breeds as well.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it would serve Ghana well if we can get them the Muvende goats.
The Muvende goats from
Yeah, because the local goats in Ghana are worse than the East African goats that we have here. The small, because I actually saw his buck actually killed one of his local goats. The buck was too big. And then, that happened. So, yeah. Wow. No, it's great that Samaj is on the West Coast. We here on the East Coast. So we can cover everything in between, especially if you guys, you know, are behind us. And we feel the love. We feel the level of momentum is building. And I can't wait till we open the doors and actually start selling and, you know, doing everything else that we're supposed to be doing as a farm.
Yeah, someone is watching from Kenny Kim. Kenny Kim has been watching so many of our videos. I'm so happy you joined the live stream because you said you can't wait to join the live stream. Thank you so much. We appreciate all our Kenyan family, people from Rwanda, people from Tanzania,
Burundi, from everywhere. Yeah.
Shout outs to you guys from Nigeria. We get so many phone calls from Nigeria and Ghana.
Not just that, even you know, it's so funny. Even I've spoken to a bunch of folks that are working in Sierra Leone, from Nigeria. Even a gentleman from Morocco. I actually had a very in-depth conversation with an aspiring farmer from the DRC.
Wow.
She wanted to come and buy goats from us here on this side. So yeah. It's fine.
That is another thing people really ask us all the time. They want to buy the goats already from us. Yeah. I know most of you have been hearing from me like, please, we are breeding for now. First wait a little bit. We shall let you guys know. You know the farm, that interesting thing about our journey, we are sharing everything. Yeah. So most people think we already out there.
I feel like we've been open for 3-4 years. Exactly. We've only been open. We've actually been in operation for a little over a year now.
Yes.
Because like we've just been building and now, you know, we're in acquisition mode, you know, growing the flock, making sure that we are weeding out the weak strands of animals. And also even with our pigs, guys, we have some good breeds at the farm, but we want to make sure we get the absolute best breed before we start selling piglets to you guys. Because like we have great breeds for meat, which is fine, but you know, I anticipate we'll be heading out to Zambia to import 100% Canberras into the country, and also bringing in the real 100%, you know, from South Africa. We're gonna import the Duroc pigs, male pigs here. And then at some point, we'll definitely anticipate VF going into AI as an actual business model, because, you know, there's a strong need for it.
That is true.
To actually have properly trained technicians to be able to go to your farms, every region, and, you know, to properly inseminate your animals safely and professionally. You know, it's one of those things. So, yeah.
Thank you so much.
We have a super chat.
We have a super chat here. Thank you so much, Terry. We really appreciate for that contribution.
Well, you got your coffee.
I've got some coffee. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Someone was asking here, I think Marie is saying pig farming. How many sows did you start with? 2, how many months did it take before the revenue was generated from the bunch? Then 3rd, what sort of expenses did you incur over that period?
So in the beginning, we actually, so true story, guys. Our favorite male pig at the farm was Lance.
Lance.
And Lance was a rescue operation.
Rest in peace.
The thing with Lance, right? I knew, I love pigs. Guys, what you have to know about me and my partner here, but particularly me, I am a freaking nerd. I research everything. As a matter of fact, you know how some people listen to music before they go to sleep? Me, I'm watching a documentary or I'm listening to an audiobook about farming. I'm reading published papers from universities in the Netherlands, Holland, Denmark, about all types of different farming, right? So for me, the moment I saw Lance, I knew he was a Hampshire. I knew the breed, I knew the percentage, I knew the quality. So then, it was at the trading center I went to. I was like, wait a minute.
At first,
this animal was being held in such horrible conditions.
I know.
And I said, I can't let this pig stay here. I won't be able to sleep. I can't do this. So then initially I'm like, okay, well, at least we'll raise it and then we'll barbecue him. We'll at least give him a good life for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And then when we brought him to the farm, we actually did his genetics. We confirmed everything was good. And then we realized, like, oh my God, like he's developing into a beast. And then like we're like, yeah, let's test him. Let's give him a snack, before he goes to to pig heaven. And so we actually we gave him a try, and his piglets were tremendous. And so he sired quite a number of our piglets for us, but that wasn't the main pig we purchased. So to answer your question, we went to a reputable breeder, and we actually purchased, initially was 22.
Yes.
We purchased 22. Out of the 22, we had 18 females, and then the rest were males, right? I think it might have been 24. We had like 4 males.
There were 4 males.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 males.
4 males. And so that cost, if I had to put it in USD, I believe it was around like, wow, $1,200, because it was less than 5 million. Yeah, it was like $1,200.
Yeah, and they were
very small. We bought them at 6 weeks. When we first brought them to the farm, we were not prepared.
Oh my God, we weren't prepared. I wasn't ready to
had a tent, because I first wanted to actually raise them on pasture. And, but like the tents that we purchased, the tent structures that we put up initially, but we wanted the farm to be alive.
True.
Because for the longest time, for about 3 months, guys, we were just building paddocks, building fences, trying to build structures for the chickens and the ducks and the geese. And then we had no animals at the farm.
I know.
So then we had a target date to get the pigs on the farm. So we had already had them booked. When we got the call to come pick them up, we went to get them. And but those pigs grew so fast. I think after they came at 6 weeks, and 5 months later, they were all bred. And those 18 pigs, now we're well over 200. In fact, I'm gonna say within the next month and a half, we're gonna be close to 700 pigs at the farm. And the goal is to get up to 2,500 at a time.
True. That
will be growing from start to finish. And so the goal is to do at least 5,000, to take to market. And so, the numbers are growing tremendously, and the breed qualities will be enhancing even further, because we're going to be going to bring an even higher percentage genetics onto the farm. And we'll be selling you guys those piglets real soon.
I know. I remember when we had just brought the piglets at the farm, it was really so crazy. The small tent that we had, the feeding troughs we had, we didn't have even water, proper,
the borehole was still under construction.
Yeah. So guys out there, if you're going to start off something, do not be discouraged. Start small. That's what we always preach for you guys, that start small but think big. You may not have the finances, you may not be ready, or you might be ready to start, but at least start with what you can. do not, break yourself and think that you do not break a bank so that you can start a farm.
Yeah, I missed a part of the question. So in terms of revenue generated, the first male pig we sold, right? So think about it from this standpoint. We spent $1,200, right, to get the initial batch of pigs onto the farm.
Yeah.
The first male pig we sold brought us almost 600 USD from one male pig that we sold. And so we did a video a while back where we told you guys, when you first start, do not purchase male pigs in the beginning, right? You wait until you have at least like 40, at least 30 plus pigs before you bring a male onto your farm, because with those 4 male pigs that we had, the amount of food they were consuming, I think on a monthly basis, they were eating close to, per pig, I'm gonna say it was roughly 30, I'm gonna say almost like 50 kgs of feed, right?
Yeah.
Per week, right?
Yes.
Somewhere around there. So when you times that by 4, that's a lot of money, but when you first starting out, you don't need to incur that cost unless you're bringing them in to grow them out and quickly get them to the butcher. Then yeah, you're welcome to do that. In that case, just purchase the ones that are already castrated, because they won't have that funky smell, right, beyond 5 months, and go that route. But if you're gonna try to start out breeding that way, don't purchase any male. Unless you get beyond 10. If you have at least 10 sows, then yeah, you could get 1 male to start. But then you have to remember to rotate that male out, because you don't want him to sire crossing his own offsprings.
That is true.
Yeah.
I think you've answered your questions. Mary, I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm mentioning your name. But then Walter is saying, I'm happy joining you live from Soroti, the land of Teso, actually focusing on starting goat farming as a business. Thank you for the knowledge.
Very smart. You're welcome. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, I know most of you have really come to us and you want to know how we do it, like what type, how can I go with goat farming here, all those things. So guys, we really appreciate you guys.
So guys, let me just tell you this. No matter where you are, right? I want you to seriously think about this, right?
Yes.
Don't worry about starting out in a perfect manner. You just need to start. You need to find a way to make an impact in your region. Identify what you want to do, whether you want to go breeding stock or for meat. And that's the thing you have to also keep in mind. Even though you want to grow goats for meat, you still need to have great genetics. Don't waste your money buying the local East African goats. There's a reason why those goats are sold for like $30. I'm sorry, not even 25 to 30 USD, sometimes less. It's because it's gonna take you a year and a half for them to get to full size. You guys have seen the 3-day at our farm.
Yeah.
You see what having a real good boa at your farm can do to your genetic flock, right?
True.
Because our goats now, literally, the ones that are 2 months, they look like they're 6 months.
6 months.
4 to 6 months. By the time they get to 3 months, they're looking like they belong with the adults, and they're still young kids. They're not even weaned yet.
That is
so please make sure whatever you do, you still have to get that 1, maybe 2 really good boas to enhance even your meat flock, because then you could take your goats to market much faster. So much faster growth rate means more money in your pocket sooner, so you want to relieve that pressure on you. Best to suffer a little bit in the beginning. You take the haircut in the beginning and you'll be laughing all the way to the bank midway through.
I know. So, Andy, thank you so much for the super chat. He also asked a question. He was like, what products are in high demand in Uganda that could be produced?
My guy is, and Andy's a man. Andy's a guy, obviously. Yes. Andy, let me help you understand this. If my brother, look at me. I wish we could zoom in on this, right? In Uganda, anything that has to do with dairy, not milk production, but like cheese, ice cream, even like, let's say, for example, if you're actually producing dairy milk. I mean, with dairy goats, you go into milk production with goats, right? There's a huge demand for skincare products that actually come from the byproducts of the goat milk itself.
Yeah.
Soap, creams, a bunch of stuff. But in terms of like meat, you cannot produce enough goat meat for Uganda.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot produce enough pork for the country of Uganda. There's a reason why Uganda actually, as a country, per capita, consume more pork than any other country on the continent. In fact, I think globally, Uganda was ranked like fourth.
Really?
Yes.
Not number one?
No, in the world, no.
In Africa.
In Africa, we're number one, but globally, I think they're like either 4 or 5 on the list, you know? And so, yeah, so when you think about what you can provide, opening an ice cream shop or just like going into ice cream production or cheese production. But then the other stuff you can also do here, right? If you're in the diaspora, you understand beef jerky, you understand other types of meat, dry meat production, for example, dry fish is a huge market for that, smoked meat. In fact, all my pit masters out there, especially my Jamaican brothers and sisters who understand how to work that grill. Okay. You come to Uganda, we need authentic Caribbean restaurants here. Not just in Uganda, across East Africa, across the continent, we need your skills, right? In terms of high demand, anything in livestock, particularly goat meat. Not just goat meat, guys. Sheep meat production is in huge demand here. In fact, I've been telling Tina and many of you, when you're starting out, don't just think about goats and pigs. Yeah. Also think about sheep, right? Yes. Well, for those of you who goes, next time, test my theory. Go to Carrefour or go to any artisanal supermarket in your region and you see the price of goat meat. And I know it by heart because that's our job to know. Yeah. Right now, a kilo of goat meat in the supermarket is 24,000 shillings. But a kilo of lamb goes for 30,000 shillings. Wow. You understand? 30,000 shillings. And this is the thing. Many people here in Uganda and East Africa place zero value on lamb, on sheep. So we definitely gonna put our foot on the pedal. We've actually spoken to a few other farmers that are also looking into sheep livestock production as a serious part of their operation. And I urge you guys to also consider doing the same thing because the competition is low. True. And sheep, in terms of buying it in the open market, is still far more affordable than goat, right? That is so and then it requires so much less care to grow sheep versus goat. In fact, for those of you who's in West Africa, even those of you who can reach out to South Africa, because we're going to be importing pure Doppler sheep to Uganda. So the genetics are going to be here, traceable, trackable, because Doppler sheep is like the ball of the goat world, right? And those sheep, they grow tremendously fast. If I'm not mistaken, a Doppler lamb could be slaughtered, I think, around 3.5 months to 4 months. Wow. I want you to think about that. That is. The average goat needs 5 to 6 months to be mature. But a Doppler sheep, especially the offspring, the lamb, that are around 4 months, is ready to go to market for consumption. Wow. So the price is higher, easier to take care of. Sure, you don't spend too much. I don't understand. Maybe sheep might not be as sexy as goats or pigs, but the money is far sexier. So that is so true. I hope I answered your question, Andy. Wow. Thank you so much, Andy. We appreciate the super chat. Brenda Atama, we see you. Thank you for joining. She's one of our subscribers from Brenda, the viewers. Awesome. How yeah. Roll with Liz. Thank you for joining. Liz, my sister in Colorado. Thank you. Yeah, we are really trying to answer your questions here. Yeah. Someone was asking, do you produce your own feed? We are. As a matter of fact, it's funny that you mentioned that because the one thing that we also going to do in terms of value addition is, as a company, we're actually now vetting seed manufacturing companies and throughout the region. where we can actually get reputable, certified seed production teams, right, to partner with us to help us grow proper, you know, pest resistant seeds so that we can make those available to you guys, right? Make it easy for you guys to be able to get those. But not just seeds, you know, the IMO solutions we're gonna be producing for you guys. In terms of, what was the question again?
Do we produce
Our own feeds, yes. We're actually opening a feed mill
Yeah.
in Lurero, Champologoma.
Village.
We're gonna actually be milling our own feeds for our animal, and we're also gonna be making pre-mixed feeds for those of you who want it, you know? So we have a lot on the docket, but that's definitely what we're heading towards the rest of this year in early 2023.
Yeah, we already have the maize, we have the soya on ground, you know? It is the
Now it's a matter of just scaling it up. Because remember what we always tell you guys, like in the beginning, we always have to test everything. So then we first test the soil to make sure that it can properly, you know, produce what we're planting.
True.
And once we confirm that with the soil test, then we scale up. So right now, the next season that's coming up, we're going to be scaling up at a much more aggressive rate than what we've been doing. So yeah.
So true. But for the feeds as
even goat bag feeds also. We're working with a nutritionist to come up with the best feeding combination for your goats when you wean them, right?
Yeah.
And especially with the pure genetics we're going to be importing on larger numbers. They need to be on a specific diet so that you can get the best results. You know, you don't have to use bag feeds, but it's another good option for you to supplement or augment what you're doing.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Guys, growing your feeds will save you a lot.
Yeah.
I've told you guys before you start like a pig farm or whatever, if you have the chance, if you can grow your own maize, it will save you so much money. Cause mills, let me tell you guys, these guys also buy the maize from these other local growers in the villages at a very cheap price. By the time it goes to the mill,
purposely hoard. Let me tell you what they do. They'll buy out most of the maize available on the market, and then they'll hoard it on purpose.
True.
So, I mean, it's a smart business strategy, right? They'll hold it on purpose, wait for the season to end. And then let's say at one point we were paying less than 400, right? 400 shillings per kilo. And then like 2 months later, you're paying 1,600 per kilo, right? So, you know, but we always tell you guys, it's always smarter, if possible, to grow your own feeds, right? To pre-plan that ahead of time. But then what's also smart, it's not just maize. Growing soy, growing sorghum, growing your own alfalfa, you know, it's important because, you know, you want to have that diversity in terms of your crops.
True.
Because your animals need it, you know? And but once you develop that standard, other farmers will be coming to you. They're gonna want to purchase your formula. They're gonna want to come learn from you.
True.
And of course, that's the beauty, right? Each one have to teach one. So as you continue to develop your skills, you want to then impart your wisdom for those who come looking for it, you know?
True. Yeah. Then also the people, of course, we've got so many people from our neighbors here, Kenya. They want like to buy maize from here, maize brand. Yeah. So when we open, don't mind, pray for us so that everything gets, you know,
we'll be milling we'll be milling the maize brand itself, but then we'll sell the mix separately because of the restriction of getting stuff over the border. You know, if we sell the finished product to Kenya, then that's a whole nother bag of can of worms. But if we actually sell the maize brand separately and the additional keep the formulation separate, get it over to Kenya, then you'll be able to mix it yourself. That's easy to do. But for those of you that are local here in the region, you'll be able to just come to, you know, the farm store, pick up your pre-mixed feed, no mixing, just get your bag and go. And you go ahead and go build your monsters.
Yes, Brenda is saying, do you think you could add meat packaging to your farm?
Actually, that's the dream.
Yes.
That's the dream that's the dream for VF.
Yes.
I think in very short order, We will be opening our own processing plant,
Yeah.
and we anticipate, with the love and support of you guys, having our meat delivery service. Because like right now, we currently have a 70-30 wholesale, you know, outlay for our current products that we're producing on the farm. So we grow our animals and we actually sell at a wholesale level to another massive company here, also other companies, even in Kenya.
Yeah.
You know, we spoke to a few of the other larger companies who want to just buy out the meat, you know, not the live weight, but the carcass weight, right? And then, but ultimately with us, we want to get into value addition, making the sausages, also sending the cuts directly to your home, to your businesses, right? And then, of course, the ultimate dream is to actually just process not just our meat, but also like the outgrowers that we're going to partner with, give these people the proper genetic enhance, you know, livestock, right? Breeding stock, and then buying it when it gets to the actual optimum weight so that we can take it to market. Yeah, so hopefully you'll find VF packaged meat at your local supermarket within the next, I'm gonna say six months or sooner.
Oh, sooner than
Yeah.
that. And even when you guys come to the farm,
Yeah.
you never know, you get something as you're leaving the farm.
Yeah, you
you
can
get
always,
some meat.
you can definitely come buy your meat at the farm when we're officially open. But in terms of making it convenient, you know, being able to like actually send you guys the cuts, you know, you never know, at your favorite restaurants, you're probably eating VF meat already.
Meats already.
Because we deliver to some of these
Exactly.
restaurants, to some of the hotels that, you know, we're establishing relationships with. So yeah.
Wow. Guys, thank you so much for joining. Please give us a like if you haven't already. If you're watching, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe as well.
You have to subscribe. Come on.
Subscribe on the road to 100K. So if you want us to get a silver button, guys, please do subscribe and also share with your friends. But we really appreciate you guys for joining us. So we are still reading your questions here because this is the time for us to chat with you guys since we are live. You guys really have so many questions. You guys have been wanting to come to the farm in person because I feel videos are not giving justice to what we have, and whatever people really see out there, we shall definitely host you guys at the farm at the right time, but we shall let you guys know. Yeah. So someone here was also saying, Anderson is saying, who is he watching from? African is saying, have you ever bought goats from Kenya, or have you ever sold goat in Kenya?
Not yet, but we are looking to bring in some of the Gala goats, right?
Yeah,
that we know that are from the Sudan, from Somalia. Sorry, but they are available in Kenya. But we've also been looking for real Nubian goats, and of course my Jamaican brothers out there, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. We've been able to track some down in, of course, Kenya as well. Yeah. But no, listen, selling to Kenya is not difficult, right? Just like importing seeds and buying other stuff from Kenya is also not that difficult. The only thing is just making sure that we perfect the process. You know, I don't want to experiment on any customer. I want to make sure that once we do take an order that we can deliver safely and confidently. But I'm sure once we open, you know, we'll be able to ship to DRC, we'll be able to ship to Kenya, we'll be able to ship to Rwanda. You know, it shouldn't be a problem. Not to mention that from what I understand, the East African Union and partnership was ratified a few months ago. Yes. But if I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to go into full effect in 2023. Okay. So, you know, we'll definitely keep you guys posted. But in the meantime, just come to UG. We'll host you at the farm. Take your goats. We'll get you your paperwork. Go. You're good to go. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Dijobo is saying, any innovation insight regarding goat milking project?
We want to. For those of you who's been watching us for a while, you know I'm a huge fan of dairy production, particularly the goat dairy production side of the business. There's a great need for it. And that's something that soon we hope to be able to bring you guys some news about that.
Yeah, that is so true. Liz is saying, are you guys getting milk from the cows yet?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Let me tell you guys
Organic milk.
something. The milk we get from the cows at the farm,
Oh my God.
it's not even fair. Like, there are times I just feel guilty, and I also ask myself, how in God's name was I paying $9, $7 for a half a gallon of milk back home, and then the milk don't taste half as good as it does here.
Mhm.
And Coley cow milk is amazing. But then again, the way you feed your cows too makes a huge difference.
That is true.
And our cows don't get any grain. It's 100% free range, grass fed. I love the cows, but I can only imagine the meat from those cows are going to be delicious for some of you out there when we actually start getting into that part of the business.
That is true.
But yeah, we get milk all the time. As a
All
matter
the
of fact,
time.
right now, I think we may have up to at least six pregnant cows at the farm. And of course, you guys from the beginning, you saw when we purchased the first cow. Less than 9 months later, we're up to what, almost 12? We have 9, almost that. We have 10 right now. Is it 10 when you count the calves?
kids?
The calves?
They're 9.
There's 9,
Yeah.
but then we have 6 that are pregnant. But I think within the next few months, we should have at least 20 to 25 cows at the farm. And of course, mainly is to make sure we get the milk to feed to the piglets
That is
and the staff. But you never know.
Yeah. Someone is saying here, can you please explain how you calculate salaries for your workers? I'm watching from South Africa.
The way we calculate the salaries for the worker is based on their overall skill level, right?
Yeah.
Some of the workers come to the farm with 0 experience.
Yeah.
Those we have to train from scratch. That falls onto a different scale. And then we have different departments that they work in. So obviously you're not going to pay your manager the same thing you pay your standard herds person, which is the person who take out the animals to the field so they could feed and then bring them back and actually do the field work with the animals on a day-to-day basis, right?
Yes.
But then that's a different skill entirely. So if you look at it from entry level, right, to intermediate to advanced, that's how we basically pay our staff. Now, we've also been fortunate to actually have hired some folks that actually went to school for farming, that come with a much greater repertoire, experience when it comes to, having that field experience, hands-on experience at other farms, and they have the technical expertise in specific areas. I can tell you guys right now at the farm, there are services we don't have to pay a vet to handle because our staff on the ground, they're trained, they can handle these things. Everything from castration to identifying certain diseases to treatment plans and protocols that we've put in place. But to answer your question, some people come with their certificates, with their degrees and diplomas that have already gone, a lot of these folks are almost vets with the level of depth, with the depth of their knowledge and experience. Of course you have to then, weigh the scale, but we're different because the way we've established the farm, we have partnership with our employees. So when the farm officially opened and we start to sell, we actually, in our company's bylaws, we actually have a profit sharing model that we're gonna be introducing, not introduced, the workers at the farm know that's what we're doing as a company. So when we go live as an organization, we'll be taking a percentage of our gross earnings and we'll be distributing that directly to the staff. So anyone who's vested with the company, meaning anybody that's been with the company for at least a year, that money is guaranteed. So if they leave after 15 months, that percentage of what we earn that we put into the separate account for them, they're gonna be able to take that money, start a new life, buy some land, do what they need to do.
For their families.
And so we're running this farm just like we're running a real US-based company where we do profit sharing. It's not a standard 401k, but there is an employee savings component to what we want to do. So what we pay our staff, we pay them a livable wage, again, based on their skill level, but then also profit sharing is huge for us as a company because it's, yes, we're in business to make money, but we're also in business to help enhance the lives of the people who have sacrificed the most precious asset,
True.
which is their time. And so we want to make sure that they get something tangible when they leave us.
That is true. Guys, you need to treat your workers very well.
Am I seeing the Haitian flag up there? Who is that?
There's someone from Haiti, by the way. I don't know how I skipped his comment.
I just saw a new comment.
Yeah,
from
but
yeah.
there's someone from Haiti. Say hello to your friends in Haiti.
Ça passe haïtien. Nous connaissons haïtien too. Ma tante, ma maman, haïtien. So, you know.
What does that mean?
Well, I'm saying I have aunts and uncles, and of course my mom is part Haitian.
Okay.
May God rest her soul. I spent time in Haiti, you know, throughout the Caribbean.
Okay.
And of course, you know, I love my Caribbean people.
Ça passe.
Ça passe, tout haïtien, tout partout, dans tout pays. Le bon haïtien en Afrique a fait un beau travail dans ici.
I'm now lost. I can't understand anything.
You asked for it.
Okay. Ongo dia Sam. This is my tribute now. Hello, Ongo dia Biaibo. You got some. You can't, you're not also lost. But thank you guys so much. He's saying thanks for sharing. Then Rhoda is saying, do you have any plans for irrigation? Because seasons have disappointed us this time. Actually,
we do. So we actually kind of got caught off guard a little bit. We have the sprinkler systems already. There's just a few attachments that we were supposed to get, which we have, but we didn't bring the plumber in because when we thought the rainy season was going to be far stronger this time around. But, you know, let me tell you guys, I have a love-hate relationship with the rain of Uganda.
Okay.
And when I explain,
tell them.
The reason it's like that, I love the rain. Obviously, we're farmers, of course. You know, Mother Nature is our number one partner outside of the wives and husbands, right?
Yes.
However, you know, I've been all over, guys. I have never in my life, and for those of you who's been to Uganda, you're gonna understand. If you live in America, Jamaica, anywhere outside of Uganda, in the summertime, when it rains, the rain water is based on the temperature where you are. So if you're in New York, you know, you're going to catch sleet, you're going to catch the cool rain. When it's the wintertime, you know, you're either going to get snow or you're going to get cool. The water's going to be cooler than usual in the wintertime. Uganda, when it rains in the dead summer, it could be 100 degrees outside, but the freaking water, the rainwater, feel like it's 30 degrees. I don't understand. It's so cold.
But that's how it is.
I've never experienced anything like that before.
Never seen it.
It's not normal. I'm telling you, it's not normal because when you're outside in the summer, I'm talking 100 degrees in Uganda sometimes. And then when the rain hits you, it feels like that water was sitting in the freezer for 3 hours. You know, it's almost at the freezing level. You know, I think you just got another super chat there. But yeah, guys, no, I love the rain because we need it as farmers. But the thing we did, we actually established a dam. And that was one of the best investments we ever made. So what's the question?
Fizri is saying, thank you so much for the super chat. Fizri, I don't know, the name is so cool. How can you say?
Fitzroy, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the super chat. He's saying, Value Farm, what you're doing is much appreciated and thank you.
Thank you. Really appreciate you.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
you're still telling us about the irrigation.
Yeah, so we're gonna actually set up a drip irrigation system because we want to grow tomatoes, right?
Yeah.
But then we actually have the sprinkler system in place that we want to be able to actually grow off-season crops, mainly for our staff, and ultimately we do plan on planting for the masses as well.
Yeah.
Particularly soy, particularly sunflower. But then VF is going to embark into house avocados and mango. So we want to plant at least, I'm going to say 1,000 to 1,500 house avocado trees and at least 500 to 1,000 mango trees. My favorite mango in Uganda is the taka taka. If you ever come to UG, you love mango. If you're a fan of mangoes, you want the taka taka. But remember
What is
this.
the difference? Like taka then dodo? What is? I feel that all the
From what I
same.
understand, the standard dodo is the taka is an improved version of the dodo. But let me tell you guys, let me teach you what I've learned in Lugandan. Sagala dodo. You don't want the dodo mango. It has a strange aftertaste and it made my tongue numb for some reason. So I'm not a fan of the standard dodo, but the taka is incredible. And also another thing I forgot to mention to our friend earlier, guys, juice manufacturing is huge in Uganda.
This country.
Let me tell you, there's such a need for it. But I also want to make sure you guys understand this, right? When you do your research, people always talk about value addition. Anyone, and that's the thing too, and if you're in the diaspora, in the US, if for you to set up a meat processing plant, you would need at least $500,000 to $1 million, right?
True.
You can come to Uganda with maybe like 60 to 70K and open a meat processing plant here. And imagine becoming the Purdue or the Conagra Food Consortium and food distribution and processing here. It's needed. Yes, we have abattoirs, which are the butchers throughout Uganda, but we don't have any company that has more than 30% market share in this country in terms of meat processing. So please, I'm pleading with you guys, right? Pleading.
Oh, wow.
If you can come here, and this is not just in Uganda, this is the same thing in Ghana, it's the same thing in Ethiopia, Burundi. You might need less money in Burundi because, again, the dollar goes a little further in Burundi from what I understand based on my research in the earlier days. Meat processing, juice manufacturing, flavored milks and yogurts, it's available. Please, I'm telling you, don't buy that Escalade. And for those of you who have good credit scores, take out loans if you can, and your loan will be able to pay for itself in a very, very short order. Because that's what a lot of people do throughout the continent, right? They have their credit scores, they have the money, they have, they've worked very hard to establish their relationship with the banks. If you have a line of credit, if you can actually find a way to intelligently, strategically extract some funds, come to Uganda. Talk to me, talk to my partner. Guys, any standard meat processing company will make you wealthy in the country of Uganda. And I don't know how else I can say it. It's needed. We are in a country that currently has a population of 45, almost 47 million residents. Uganda's projected to have a population of almost 90 million residents in about 9 years. Imagine being able to actually be one of those meat processing plants, right? To actually be able to sell meat to the masses. Your $70,000 investment could make you a multi-millionaire, literally, overnight. And I'm not selling you a pipe dream. Do your research, because Google companies like Purdue in America. Google companies like Hillshire Farms. I think Purdue just purchased them not too long ago. Purdue right now as a company, the value of Purdue, which is a privately held company in America, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's somewhere along $7 to $13 billion.
Oh, wow.
And what's Purdue? Purdue is a meat processing company, right? When those of you that like your chicken breasts for your salads, right? They even sell pre-cooked meat.
Okay.
They package it, they distribute it in the supermarket for the health nuts. You just buy the package, you put it in the microwave for like 2 minutes. They're a meat processing company. Hillshire Farms, they used to just make sausages, right? And so we don't have that in the country. We need this. We need this. We need strategic partners to come here, partner with, I don't care if it's VF or if it's in West, we need people on the ground that can come here, open real juice factories. Because we have so much incredible organic natural fruits. My heart breaks. There's also a massive opportunity for the dry fruits market. For my fellow Americans or even my diasporans out there, when you go to the supermarket, you buy the dry mangoes, the trail mix with the dry mangoes and the papaya. Guys, we don't have a company here doing this. So getting industrial dryers, dehydrators here, we need people to come to the country to actually build commercial hatchery for poultry. It is a disgrace that most of the farmers here in Uganda, when they want to start poultry, most of their chicks are coming from Turkey. They're coming from all the way out from the Netherlands. Sometimes they're ordering from France. Sometimes they're bringing them from China. So if you can come here with a commercial hatchery and you set it up, you cannot satisfy the demand. I give Dr. Daniels credit. He's actually done a tremendous job with his initiative with Farm Up. He's actually hatching, for his team. They're trying to scale up. So credit to Dr. Daniels and the Farm Up team. But guys, that's just one company. That's one company who decided to actually get into the fray, hatching in big numbers, but they don't have the capacity to hatch 10 million chicks. Not yet. So the market is still at its infancy stages. So you use your brain. Please use your brain. And believe me, I know this. I'm a banker. You guys can't hide this information from me. Right now, your money is sitting in the bank account earning 0.0002% to 5% if you're lucky on a money market or CD that you have to lock up for 7 years, guys. Especially now with inflation in the US, if you don't have a way to fight inflation, the current inflation rate in America right now is 8%. That's the number they advertise, but in reality it's closer to 11, 12%. But let's use 10%. What does that mean? If you have $100 in the bank, it's just on paper. It's just on paper. Your $100 is really worth $90. So if you're somebody that's getting close to retiring, or you have enough liquid capital, you need to diversify your exposure. You need to have an inflationary fighting mechanism in order for you to retain your wealth. The more you sit on the sideline, you let that money sit in that money market in your savings account, I'm telling you, you don't know where the final number is gonna end. Last I checked, Turkey inflation rate literally went up by almost like 60%, literally overnight. So farming is the way to go. Value addition here, and this is not just in terms of like meat or in terms of just dairy. You can do this in terms of the skincare industry. Did you know, and I actually mentioned this to my partner here, in Uganda, most people think about shea butter.
Yes.
They think it's just a Ghanaian thing.
Yeah, that's what we know.
And in reality, North Uganda, is one of the largest producers of shea butter. But most people think it comes from Ghana. And the beauty with shea, the actual plant itself, it grows in the forest naturally. It just grows. And let me tell you guys something else I actually found was so intriguing. Google this, okay? Because we here to share. For those of you who like pesto, who love your hummus, my brothers and sisters out there from the Middle East, Turkey, that whole part of the world, in America, we love hummus. Guys, you should Google how much it costs for 1 pound of pine nuts. How much is that? 1 pound of pine nuts in America, if it's the grade A version, pine nuts is more expensive than macadamia nuts. It's one of the most expensive nuts out there. Pine nuts in Uganda, we have so many pine trees that are growing in the forest, that are just like available.
Like, I didn't know that they're even useful.
Pine nuts is one of the most.
I remember you telling us, like,
when I shared this with Tina, my mind was blown. Yeah, my mind was blown. Yeah, they're literally just falling off the tree. Dude, if you come to Uganda here, if you understand how to harvest and process pine nuts, you could become a billionaire. Literally, you can just harvest pine nuts here, send to Europe, back to the United States, send to the Middle East, and you can just print cash. That's also value addition, So please get off the couch, please get off the financial sidelines and get involved. There are many, many ways you can participate in agriculture. I know, being a former banker and a realtor back in America, I always wanted to be in this field, but it was not feasible for me to do it at home. But for those of you out there, guys, I'm here. Okay, I'm in the deep end of the pool, and it's okay. There's nothing for you to be afraid of. True. You come, you pick the country you want to go to. I don't care if it's Gambia, I don't care if it's Zambia, I don't care if it's South Africa, wherever you want to go. Just if you want to do farming, pick your country wisely, because your purchasing power won't go nearly as far in South Africa as they will in Sierra Leone, or even TZ, or even Ghana. Of course, farmland is expensive everywhere. But again, in life, you get what you pay for. I know I've been rambling a lot. No. I'm just very passionate about this, because I know there are many people back home that are on a fixed income. And that's the part that breaks my heart. You retired, or you've been working in the same field for more than 20 years. Inflation is going up, but your salaries are remaining stagnant. You have to feed your family, you have to pay for your mortgage, you have to pay for your rent, you have to pay for your car insurance. Take a chance. Take a chance. Give your family a chance. Next time, instead of you taking that trip to Europe, bump Europe. Come to Africa. Okay? Come to Africa. And no one's paying me to do this. I don't work with any tourism board. I don't get a salary from the Ugandan government. I came here on my own accord. Sure. You come to Africa, man, and you look into what you can do. And you don't need a lot of money. And I know you guys, I don't care if you're from the hood, you guys understand. A lot of you spend $100,000 buying those brand new Escalades, driving the brand new Q7. With the way things are moving right now, especially for those of you who look like me, be proactive. That's all I'm going to tell you. Take that $30,000, come buy some land in Uganda, buy some land in Ghana. Have something that you can hold and pass on to your kids. Create a legacy. Because let me tell you, at the end of the day, the moment you drive that car off the lot, the value begins to go down immediately. But you know what never goes down? It just appreciates, and that's land, especially land. Bill Gates right now is considered the biggest farmer in America, right? People like Elon Musk, Bill Gates, even Mark Cuban, they are investing billions into farmland. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen when these folks control all the farmland in America? And you basically they can hold you over a barrel. But the beauty, they didn't count on Americans like me and fellow diasporans like me and you that's out there watching, coming to the motherland and investing our money wisely. You understand? Just think about this, right, guys? For those of you in New York, and I grew up in New York, right? I grew up in Brooklyn, New York City all day, I spent the first 7 years of my life living in Gramercy Park, right? When I first came to the U.S. And, when I became an adult, I moved to Brooklyn. I was down on Pierpont, Brooklyn Heights, stand up, okay? If you own a brownstone out there, even if you have no mortgage, your tax bill annually for that brownstone and Brooklyn Heights is gonna be between $15,000 to $20,000 a year. Is that freedom? Can you ever say you living free? But if you do that, if you save that 10 to 15,000 and you come here to Uganda, you come with 100,000. This is the place where your 100,000 can easily become 500,000 to $1 million if you're smart and understand what to do with your money. So that's all I have to say. I'm sorry. I'm very passionate about this.
No, you're just so passionate about it.
I want to make sure that my brothers and sisters know.
Yes, which is really so
I think the coolest quote I've ever read. Once you had a dream, whatever that dream might have been. But now as adults, you have options.
Yeah, true.
Because you're in the marketplace, you bust your tails, you went to school, you have your education. Let me tell you something. The most dangerous people in America, and I mean danger in this case in terms of positive, all my sisters out there. Because you guys know how hard you work to go to school, how much you guys dedicate your time and you sacrifice relationships with your family, personal relationships. You put having families on hold because education, the pursuit of education, is so important to you guys, and as it should be in every household, but particularly in the African American household. These sisters out there are no joke, but here's what's lacking. A lot of my brothers and sisters back home in New York, Connecticut, Jersey, you name it, PA, guys, you have to spread your wings. There's a lot more to the world than being a New Yorker. There's a lot more than you being the big shot in Philadelphia. Because with your level of expertise in education, in business, counseling, mental health, those skills, you can come to the continent here and you can change. You can impact so many people for the better. What's so funny?
I was reading one comment.
What was it?
I think, let me look for it. He was talking about, I always enjoy information that is being provided. However, I say it again, do not speak so loudly on opportunities that Africa offers enemies.
Well, I'm speaking, listen, the enemies out there will not take the time to take this information. This is a safe space for people who seek knowledge and who's looking for enlightenment, right? So I feel comfortable disseminating this information because, this is the place, man. This is one of this is the beauty about this. That's why this being live is interesting. We can really sit down and talk to you guys. Right? This country here, you can come here with $20,000, guys, and make the proper investments, and you'll be okay. Now, you could take a $250,000 and go to Portugal and fail spectacularly, because like anything else, the secret is out in Portugal. The secret is out in Costa Rica. There's no more cheap land in Costa Rica. There's no more cheap land in Portugal. There's no more cheap land in Belize, right? Unless you go way beyond Belma Pond and you go deep into the forest, right? You can still come to Ghana. You can come to Uganda. You can come to the continent. And guys, this is the place, as long as you use your brain. And especially, and I want to make sure you guys understand, there's a thing, and New Yorkers understand this. The New York hustler mentality is a very dangerous thing to the free market. Because when you understand the grind and the dedication it takes for you to become successful in New York, same thing in PA, in Philadelphia, Same thing in New Jersey, Connecticut. If you're from the Northeast, and for my brothers out there in California on the West Coast, you understand is the pace of the grind in LA is different than the pace of the grind in New York City. But we're built different. The mindset, the strength to know that even when you're doing a full sprint against the winds, the way we were brought up, you never sit down, you never quit until the fat lady sing. And right now, guys, the fat lady haven't even begun singing in Uganda. The continent is wide open. Be smart, be selective about who you partner with, do your research, bring your money here. Bring your money here and you'll be okay. You'll find your footing. 100%.
Thank you.
What happened?
I know people are really appreciating all this. I know comments are just flowing here. There's someone who was saying, Anderson was saying, can you be my market, please, in Zimbabwe for pigs?
Can I be his market? Explain.
Can we buy, I think, pigs from him?
If they have the proper breeds, we're open, absolutely. We're looking for the best genetics.
Yeah.
And I know Zimbabwe, actually, shout out to the Zimbabwe government. Because I actually researched, you guys actually did a wonderful job bringing in actual pure breeds into your country. And you work very, very hard and very closely with your farmers. And they've done the same thing in many parts of Nigeria as well. So definitely, absolutely.
Okay. You can text us. We have a contact in our videos. We can talk more. Someone is saying is watching from Zambia, beginner in piggery and bird farm. Then there's someone here in terms of
the person in Zambia is lucky because I know for a fact there's a bunch of farms in Zambia that has 100% Canberras, although you have to import the pure males from South Africa, or you can just import the semen, right? But at least you have one half of the genetics there already. 100% you can get it in Gambia, so in Zambia. So yeah, so you're picking the right one.
Yeah, Robert Okiror, in terms of land, can 5 acres be sufficient to start up goat or beef cattle? What minimum should I look at?
If you have 5 acres of land, I would say you should definitely, I would suggest you start with goats and sheep versus cows, because let's face it, guys, if you have 5 acres of land, you can't keep that many cows, especially if you're doing free range. Now, granted, you can definitely do a cut and carry system, but that means you're going to have to spend money on hay. You're going to have to spend, it's going to be tough, right? Can you raise at least 15 cows, on that 5 acres, even 20? It's possible. But again, you're always going to be up against it. But on 5 acres, you could easily raise 200 goats, right? And using the same cut and carry system, you won't need as much space. Goats do not eat as much as cows, and you will earn more money with your goats on 5 acres than you would with your cows.
With the cows.
So yeah.
So true. Yeah. Then this guy.
Fitzroy.
Yeah, the one who gave us a super chat was like sheep and the Angora goats from South Africa are winners.
Yeah.
And the more hair fibers.
Let me see. The more hair, yeah.
Yeah, fibers are premium for Ugandan weavers. Lucrative and demand internationally.
Definitely. This is correct.
Living in Canada now, planning to go back home.
I love Canada. I love my Canadians.
Canadians,
Let me tell you,
here.
I'm not much of a drinker, but the only beer I've ever tasted in my life that did not taste like urine was Labatt Blue. So shout outs to Montreal. I have family in Place Longueuil in Canada, which is right outside of Montreal. So I love my Canadian brothers and sisters too. Guys,
welcome home.
You're welcome. Come on down.
Welcome home. How many pigs can be in a 3 meters by 5 meters room?
I would say you could put anywhere between like 3 by 5. It's kind of cramped to be safe, but it depends on the size of the pigs, right?
Size of the pigs.
So if you have piglets, you can put a lot more.
Yeah.
I would say at least like 20 piglets can be in there, even 30.
Yeah.
But as they become more mature, between 6 to 10, if not 12, but even at that point, you'll be up against it.
That is true. Yeah, Maro looking to buy a goat from Tanzania. Thank you guys from Tanzania. Shout outs to you. We
Love
you.
TZ. I plan on coming to TZ. Hopefully, you guys can actually, show me around when I get there. Because for those of you who don't know this, I'm a fisherman. I'm a child of the sea.
Yes.
I love deep sea fishing. So if I'm coming to TZ, I will let you guys know. I want to take a boat out. I don't care about going to the fancy part. I just want to go out into the ocean, catch some snappers, come back, spice it up, and actually have a fish fry. Yeah. So I'll let you guys know when I'm free to come.
Okay, that's interesting. Senzo is watching us from South. Is it South Africa or Zambia? I don't know this. What? I think Zambia something. Okay. But he would like to visit the farm, watching your videos. Your work is amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You guys, you'll be able to come to visit the farm very, very soon.
Very soon.
Because like right now, here's what's happening. We have like 2 cottages that are near completion. One would be a 2-story. The other one's going to be a single story. I think, we can easily fit between like 15 people. But we want to get it to the point where we actually build more cottages that can easily host at least 20 to 25 people at the farm. Because then we can give you a good experience, right? Where we can take care of your meals.
I know.
You can choose whether you want to have grilled rabbit or grilled goat, or you want to have a barbecue.
Pork.
I need a barbecue pit master from, I don't care where you're from, but I need somebody that understands how to work the actual pit. So because we want to do a whole hog barbecue. So for my brothers out there, I know we have some Texans here. You might be from North or South Carolina. If you are in East Africa, please reach out to me because we need to build a proper pit because I plan to bring whole hog barbecue to East Africa on this side. Okay? Reach out to us.
Thank you. Then Kenneth. Oh, am I skipping people here? Hi, Elijah from Zambia watching. Thank you so much. Kenneth is saying always enjoy information that is being provided. That is for the enemies here. I have intention to do mixed farming in Ghana. Do you please export goats breeds to Ghana as well?
Of course, we can export anywhere. And guys, the only thing you have to keep in mind, right? It doesn't make sense for us to get space because this is how it works. When you are exporting goats, they have to be put into an actual the freight itself is a standard size crate. Okay, now you're gonna pay the same for the crate if you have 10 goats or 15 goats.
Yes,
but it's expensive. So if you want us to send goats to Ghana, best to talk to some of your other fellow farmers in your region, figure out a way to get at least 40 plus goats, right? Because that will be it will make more economic sense to do that versus you just ordering, 5 to 7 goats.
Yeah, true.
So the freight is gonna cost. Try to be the ideal situation. You will import in greater numbers to help minimize your expenditure. So, but that's something we can definitely work with you to achieve.
Yeah, thank you so much. Then Nebo is saying hello to you all. Nana watching from Denver, Colorado.
I love Denver. I love Colorado.
Yes. Someone is saying correct. You have to invest and keep your money.
That's true. 100%. Yes.
Someone is saying my inspirers. You guys inspire us as well to come back here to share the content with you.
For sure.
Yes. Great to see someone with background in finance. Gives me greater confidence.
Thank you.
That is amazing. Bravo to my partner here.
Yeah, and guys,
financial guidance here.
Just so you understand, like I have like in terms of banking, I've spent 15 years in the financial sector, everything from insurance to investment instruments to, working in the regional private banking sector at Wachovia Securities. Believe me, agriculture is the way to go. And again, use Google. There's some of the wealthiest families in America that own, privately held corporations. They started out in farming. Even Wells Fargo, The financial institution.
Yeah.
The reason they stagecoach is what it is. They literally started, in the marketplace, transporting other goods than later on, because a lot of the farmers and sharecroppers used to get robbed all the time. Then they started carrying the money from market to market to support farmers.
True.
You understand? That's how they got into, money management and became a full-fledged bank. So agriculture is a no-brainer. It's the way to go. You could do it at an affordable, starting investment on the continent. The startup capital requirements are far less. The restrictions here are far less strenuous than it is back home.
True. And that's when I'm saying deep information here. Thank you.
You're welcome, Minister.
Yeah, moving to Africa is now a movement.
Yeah.
God is saying, thank you for developing a firm confidence in our young generation. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. Thank you. Always, you made me think in everything you do, start small and grow big.
Grow big, of course.
Yes. And Andy Hope is saying food security has been a priority for African countries for decades due to increasing populations and too much dependence on imports from developed countries.
Guys, I want to make sure I stress this point out to you. Look at the price of gas at home right now. Look at the price of food, even freaking baby formula. There's a shortage of baby formula. Not even a year ago, if somebody told you right now, like a year ago, that there would be a massive shortage of baby formula in the United States of America, you would probably look at that person as if they had 10 heads. But the environment is changing. There's been food insecurity threats and scares before, but never like this. And for those of you who understand, everybody has to eat. Sometimes you might make the decision not to drive because you could take Uber, but you can't make the decision not to eat.
True.
You understand? So if you understand that's the premise of life, and if you can get in. Even here in Uganda, everything has gone up so drastically, and it's gonna keep going up. So you best to be the person on the side of the fence that's producing, what people need. And also that the byproduct of being a farmer, you'll be able to feed your region, but you're also gonna be able to feed your family.
True.
So it serves multi-purpose options on the table here.
That is so true. You can't starve. That's what you have.
No, even right now, even there are parts of the land that we've acquired. I think we've inherited almost like 40 mango trees, right? And we didn't buy the land for the mango trees that are on there. Hi, everyone. But then by accident, you find, it comes with the land. We have avocados, we have mangoes, we have cassava, we have oranges, we have sweet potatoes. But then that's just getting the land. So, we urge you guys to just, again, put away your fears, because believe me, 2024 will be here in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the one to realize that, hey, I think another quote I'll share with you guys. You don't want to be the person to look back a year from now and wish you actually made the move you should have made a year ago. You understand me? Better to be early than late, especially when it comes to business.
True.
And I understand this is the scariest thing. And give me a minute. I have to make sure you guys understand this, right? Many of you out there, my brothers and sisters, you guys were born into a society that just trained you to go to school, be a good boy or be a good girl, get the best grades, get a job or get a career, ride out your 25 to 30 years as an employee. But ask yourself this question. How many of your bosses, right, do you see actually have to live paycheck to paycheck? Most of them are the ones holding the whip.
Yes.
And most of your bosses will grow to be wealthy, and they'll be able to pass on generational wealth to their children. But you as a worker, you'll be able to get by. But unless you're a brain surgeon or dermatologist and you into these super high fields, it's going to be very difficult for you to actually be the one to become wealthy. You'll be able to survive, but you're not going to be able to thrive. And there's a reason why there are so few brain surgeons in the world. There's a reason why there are so few high-level dermatologists in the world, right? It's because it's incredibly difficult to achieve. But then the mindset, the way we were brought up to be employees, not employers, to be the ones to be dependent on a paycheck versus the one to be the creator of the opportunities. So in order for you to have that paradigm shift, it's a scary thing to do. It's a scary place to be. But believe me, you can do it, especially in agriculture. You know, there are other businesses out there. For you to get into it, it would require you to spend over a decade in school, right? But farming is very straightforward. You just need to be able to have the courage to start, learn from people with experience, partner with smart people that are already in the business, and then invest your money strategically. And the hardest thing to do is to give up a paycheck, because that's what you know, but that's not how it should be. You deserve to be free. You deserve to have your financial freedom. You deserve to be in charge of your own destiny. And being a slave to a punching clock for company X, and some of you are perfectly content that way until the next pandemic, until the next mass layoff, where you literally cannot sleep at night because you might be on the chopping block. You understand? Please have the courage of your conviction. Know that you went to school. You have the mental capacity to be an owner, not just an employee. You don't have to be dependent, especially as an adult. You understand? You can slowly migrate this way, you know? But at least I hope one of you out there, or two, can take this information and start to think differently about where you want to be 2 to 3 years from now, how you want your children to grow up. I have a son. His name is Sterling. He's 3.5. And believe me, the hardest decision I had to make was coming here. But I made that sacrifice for him. I had to leave the US. I never wanted my son to experience the indignity of being racially profiled just for having a portion of my complexion. And I wanted for him to have different options in life than what I grew up with. I wanted for my son to have the option to be a CEO in training, right? And waiting. That what I'm building here with my partner is to be able to give him the option to be an owner, to actually own something, to actually be looked at as a creator, if you will, to be able to take the baton where we're going to get it to and take it to the next level, right? A lot of my Caucasian friends have had construction companies that their fathers left them, and some of them own medical practices that their great-grandfathers left them. I actually have one of my closest friends back home. He's a Jewish young man, and I remember being in school with him, even in junior high school. My boy knew by the time he turned 22 that the family trust, which is valued out over $30 million was going to be turned over to him. Can you imagine being a 14-year-old kid to already knew that was waiting for you on the other side? I want my son to be able to experience that, you know, and I knew when I weighed and did my research, I knew I had to take the Attila the Hun approach. I had to go very far, a whole nother continent, in order to get my solid footing, in order to get laser-like focus on this agricultural movement on the continent, in order to give him his best start in life. And so far, this has been one of the best professional decisions I've ever made in my entire life. So be open-minded. Don't be afraid. You know, you're smart. We're tough. You're New York tough, Jersey tough, you know, US tough in general. You know, come out here and really let your training, you know, lead you to this next phase in your life of taking control of your destiny.
Yeah. So do not get scared. Most people are really scared, you know, of taking that step.
Yeah.
I feel they look at the negative more than the positives, guys. You need to, you know, start from somewhere at least. I know at least you took your courage to come here.
It was not easy. Let me tell you, it was not easy. But I swear to you guys, I wish I would have made this move 15 years ago, because I would have been retired already. Had I came here 15 years ago, I'm convinced by right now I would have been a retired, very successful farmer in this country.
True.
You know, but everything happened in its own time. Everything happens for a reason. There's no regrets. The only regret is me not coming at all. But I'm glad that I'm here. And I'm happy I can actually share my experience with you back home. And yeah, maybe that's what that was in God's plan.
It's God's plan, and everything happens for a reason, you know.
Yeah.
God's timing is always the best. So, oh my God, we have so many comments here, guys. Thank you so much. Please hit the like button.
Guys, make sure, do me a favor. Do this for me and my partner. You subscribe to this channel. Because we want to continue to grow, because the more we grow as a channel, as a content producing vehicle, the greater impact we'll be able to have.
Sure.
So, you know, we don't want to pander, but we also understand the value of the numbers, because for some reason, people don't seem to really pay too much attention to your channel the smaller you are. Even though you could be like the world's greatest practitioner in your field, but they respect numbers, right? So our numbers are improving, but with your help, we can do better, both on Instagram, Value Farm UG, follow us there, but also subscribe to the channel, because, you know, the road to 100,000, you know, it's here. Let's get there faster. Of course, you know, there's almost 100 of you in the room. You know, take a moment, you hit that subscribe button, and then you refer this to your friends. You know, if you love, you know, Uganda, if you love the motherland, you share this channel with everyone that you know, and encourage them to subscribe, because ultimately they're gonna get something from us.
Something from us. Yeah. And we're here to share everything with you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's so many comments here. I don't know where we're going to end, or I don't know. But thank you guys for the information. And Grafton, I love your passion for you having farming.
Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
I think the next billionaire will be farmers in Africa. I love farming. Right now, I'm doing pig farming in a small scale. I love you guys for the work you have been doing.
What's the name?
From Malawi.
You have to read the
Stephen.
name. Stephen, congratulations to you, my brother. Yeah, you know, it's a very powerful industry. Pig farming is definitely, you know, we're very passionate about it as well. And so good for you, Stephen. And for those of you out there that comment, the next billionaires, of course, it is in agriculture.
Yes.
And this is true for you in Jamaica. It's true for you if you're in Belize. It's true for you if you're in Haiti. It's true for you if you're in the Dominican Republic. Throughout the Caribbean, East and Western Caribbean, you know, this is, get in farming. And for those of you that can't do livestock, it's okay.
Mm.
There are high value crops, there are cash crops out there, right? You just have to be in the game, you know? You have to be in the game in order for you to actually have a chance. You have to give yourself a chance.
True.
So that's that.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. It's saying, sir, this one.
Yeah.
Sir, I want to visit you. I want to visit your farm. So what is your address? We already said.
We are in Lorero, but the farm is not yet open. But guys, that's also why we urge you to follow us on Instagram, because we're gonna post that information. We want to have a grand opening, you know, where we get at least a couple hundred of you to come at once to the farm, where we're gonna host training, and you'll be able to come and enjoy some of the food, meet the staff, and see, you know, how the farm's progressing. And so yeah, that's pretty much where we are.
Elijah is saying, talking about the filter system in pig farming here in Zambia, where I am, it's difficult to rise dust. So can I use sawdust because it's only available? That's what actually we are using right now.
Sawdust is okay, but if you can get the wood chips, you can use a combination of the wood chips and the sawdust.
Yeah.
If you can get rice husk, is also pretty good, or coffee husk is also pretty good. But sawdust is okay in combination with the wood shavings, because the reason we tell you to do the combination, because when your sows begin to farrow, sometime if based on the amount of sawdust you have there, some of the piglets might actually suffocate because they're not strong enough to come up for air, you know. But the wood chips will not suffocate them. You understand? So we would recommend, if you can find sawdust or coffee husk or anything to actually supplement, you know, the sawdust itself is actually a good option. Something for you to look into.
That is so true. Mr. Dakas, he's been a follower from way back. I remember.
What's the name?
Mr. Dakas.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's
the navigator. He's telling the truth. Tina, the guest and Tina are showing us opportunities available in the motherland. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Benson is saying, hello, very firm. I'm proud of you guys.
Hi, Benson. Thank you.
Good work. Keep it up. I'm continuing to learn more on farming. Leah Media, I don't know what happened. Hello, if you're still watching. Angelica is saying lots of love from Iceland.
Ooh, Iceland. I don't know what's going on. I think we lost you guys for a moment. Sorry. Hopefully we're back.
We are back. Sorry for that. Alan Okopa is saying thumbs up is my hobby. I studied with him at campus. I remember him. Hello, Alan.
Do you guys know something about Iceland? The beauty with Iceland, right? Iceland as a country, you know, weather-wise is not the most favorable for livestock. However, they are highly advanced in agriculture, and it's a wonderful region. It's a wonderful country. The hot springs are wonderful. Yeah. Iceland is actually on my bucket list. I want to visit Iceland before I kick the bucket. Okay. You know, but in terms of the fish industry, both fishing and of course, you know, pork production, Iceland is definitely right up there.
Wow.
In the region.
That is so nice. Then this name I can't even.
Which one?
This one.
Shisu?
Yes. Hello, my name this, and now this is French, I think.
Cedric.
Yes, watching from Norway. Thanks for sharing all the wisdom. You're most welcome.
You're welcome.
Susan Nakaranzi, thank you, dear. Thank you so much too for joining us. Josephine is saying hello from Colorado. You guys inspire me a lot. We actually have so many people from Colorado. Yeah,
I love Colorado. Listen, if you guys know anything about me, I love, you know, that part. I love the West, particularly the Southwest, right? I love Arizona. I'm a huge fan of Colorado as a state.
Yeah.
I like Utah. I'm just a fan of that region. You know, New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, you know, big fan.
Wow. Vic is saying, in your last video, you talked about additional value. Is it possible to put efforts together like crowdfunding?
crowdfunding.
Yes.
See, guys,
else or the
I think, you know, I don't know if you guys want that, we could probably put together a farming fund, right? Where you guys, you know, can pull your funds together and actually do something where, you know, we can actually set it up for you guys. Because I would love to actually, it would be great if we could do crowdfunding to open or to actually add specific projects with the crowd support, particularly in terms of building the processing facilities. You know, maybe that's something we could probably try, right? Because if we could raise the funds, you know, through crowdfunding to actually build a premier tier one processing center in Uganda, it would be a game changer for the region. Because there's no reason, let me tell you guys, most of the products we get in terms of juice, in terms of meat, is being imported from freaking China.
Wow.
Most of the pork that's being consumed in this country is coming from China. There's nothing wrong against my Chinese, you know, compatriots. However, we have enough land, we have enough capacity. We just need to get the actual mechanisms in place, you know, to actually even out the playing field. So it's something to look into.
Yeah, let's summarize the live stream. We've been here for almost 2 hours. So so let's just summarize everything here. I know you guys have lots of questions. So guys, we also offer consultation services. So do not feel afraid.
Those of you out there, you talk to Tina. I'm also available. You can definitely schedule some time if you feel like you need that one-on-one help. You know, Tina's definitely knowledgeable. Agnes, the whole team is here to support you guys. You can always book a session with the team, and we'll be able to help you.
Organize.
And you know, but no, we're here. You know, it's been, like you said, it's been almost 2 hours.
I know.
We were supposed to be here for maybe an hour. To answer your questions. You know, if you guys like this, maybe we'll do it more often. You let us know, and yeah, maybe we'll make this a thing.
Yeah, that's what I think we shall do. Someone is saying, let me just read maybe the questions. Do you feel there is a place for experience? Which one? This one?
Yeah.
7. Dear teachers, I have been following you just for 3 days. You have taught me a lot. God bless you. Pastor John Mobidu here in Uganda.
Hello there, Pastor Mobidu.
Then let me see here. There's someone here. FBN Miguel is one of our long-time followers.
Okay.
Hello, shout out. You've been lost.
Welcome back.
What part of US is my brother from?
Wow, I grew up in New York City. I lived in New York for over 22 years. But then before I moved to Florida, I was in Arizona for almost 5 years. I've called my Florida, Orlando in particular, is my permanent home. In the U.S., it's been that way for almost 7 years now. So I've moved around, but I grew up, as you could hear the New York accent, you know, I moved to New York officially when I was 10, almost 11. And I left New York, wow, when I hit that magical number of 30. So, you know, but the funny thing with New York, many times I left for career pursuit, right? Where I left New York, went to Maryland to work for Wachovia Securities, did my stint there for about 4 years. Then I was hired to go to JP Morgan. You know, then I moved back to New York. Then I moved out to the West Coast with Wells Fargo. Then I was transferred back to New York. So I've left New York on many occasions. But you know, I'm from New York, so that's the short answer.
In fact, he sounds like he's from the Northeast.
Of course, anybody from there, you know, from the way I say water to just they know.
Then TB is one of our members. He said, "Congratulations, congrats on all your success."
Thank you for the support.
Thank you for always supporting us and being a member on the channel. Please, if you guys are not yet members, please join the membership and support us. You guys have been an inspiration to me for a project I'm working on in the States.
That's awesome. Congratulations. Good luck with that.
It is so nice. How much should I have saved before coming to start a farm there in USD? It's called
Only, it depends. That's a multi-layer question there. It depends on what you want to do. It depends on what type of farming you want to do. I didn't even know snail farming
It's
was
very
such a
important.
massive industry,
Yes.
you know, and I mean massive. You can print money in snail farming if you set it up the right way, especially in West Africa.
Yes.
There's also opportunities here in East Africa.
Mm.
I, I would say,
Someone's
hold on,
trying to call
South Africa.
from South Africa. Sorry.
I would say, and to put a number on it, I would say between 15,000 to 25,000, you'll be in a safe range.
So friend.
You know, and it depends on the type of farming that you want to get into.
True.
But 10,000, even 5,000 can get you in the door. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, it depends on if you're starting a farm from scratch, if you're partnering with somebody.
Someone here already.
You understand? You could easily do what's called a joint venture,
Yeah.
where you basically, let's say hypothetically value farm. You could like what we're doing with what we already have established. I'm just giving you guys a hypothetical example. And you might have a passion for fish farming. You might come to Tina and I and say, hey guys, you know, I have, you know, X amount of money. I've done the research. You guys help us do more research.
Yes.
But we have like $15,000, but we're interested in doing fish farming. You know, how far can our 15,000 go? Can we partner on a joint venture basis to simply establish a fish farming division at Value Farm? 15,000 should be plenty enough to do something like that. But if you only have 15K to buy land, to build your structures, to build your security, so you know that will then help you gauge how much money you need.
You need.
So it depends on what you want to do, what level, what stage, how big you want to go. You know, that would definitely give you a better indication of how much money you need to save.
Yep. Thank you. Lobasi Ntangu. This should be from South Africa.
Okay.
Hello. Hi. Elijah is saying, thanks, I get the point. Then Javid Bain, he's saying, I'm following you guys from Grenada, West Indies.
Grenada, my peeps.
Yeah.
Good food, good people.
Are you serious?
Listen, in New York, wonderful people, friendly, hardworking.
Okay.
You know, Grenadian food is amazing. You know, they have some of the best festivals in that region. You know, love the music, love the food, you know. So, thank you for joining us.
Bagatia Ibrahim is saying, proud of you guys as well. I will need some private consultation.
Of course, just reach out. You
Just
know,
reach out on
the WhatsApp number is on the post. You know, you can always reach out to Tina, myself, anybody on the team, and we can definitely help you.
And we organize that.
And guys, I want to make sure you understand the value of consultation. It's not that we're trying to get money from anybody, but time is of the essence. You understand? Many of you need detailed assistance. You're gonna probably need help with your actual plan of action, with your business plan, how do you enter the market, market penetration, how do you plan out the design of your farm. These are very technical questions that require time and detailed input from us, from the team. So that's why you get a private session to actually help you with that, you know? And so, you know, we want to help as much as possible. And of course, we're very busy. Usually, guys, we're on the road, like, we're on the road, I'm gonna say, I leave my house here usually at like 4:15 in the morning to head to the farm, right? So, because we're still building structures, we're still building our permanent residence at the farm. So for now, we have to come from Kampala and go to the farm. So if you think about it, we literally have to really plan everything in order to give you the one-on-one attention. Think about it. This is the first time we're doing a live stream in months. I know Tina sometime would do it, but we would love to do stuff like this more often, but of course, time permitting, you know? And so that's what you have to keep in mind. But some of you need more help than others. Some of you this might be enough, right? And of course, some of you, when you're getting closer to making your final decision, you know, we always urge you guys to do your research. Even if it's not with us, you should definitely try to talk to someone.
Yes.
You know, whether it's somebody in the US or somebody here. You know, our friends from Samaja Farm in West Africa.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of other people that are farmers, the Ghanaian farmer. And, you know, there's a bunch of people out there that actually have real expertise. There's one particular young lady in Zimbabwe. I can't remember her name, but she has a master's in agriculture. Yeah. She's very, very talented. Talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? The last thing you want to do is blow your cash thinking you know everything, right?
Then when you get
and then when you get in too deep, that's what usually happens.
That's what happens.
Many people think they come in, like, you know, they don't need any. I'm not gonna spend. Guys, believe me, being cheap is extremely expensive.
Sure.
You understand? So, you know, spend a little bit of cash, confirm your research,
sure,
and then you go ahead and you handle your business.
I know. That's why then most times when we tell you guys that we also take our staff somewhere for training so they get extra knowledge. Yeah, so we invest.
Like for example, we hope to be getting into apiary in the future, because where we are, it makes sense for us to have bees to produce honey, to also help us with cross-pollination.
Sure.
We're gonna have to send our staff, you know, for almost a month to learn how to build the actual beehives. And also work with somebody who has experience in apiary. Sure. To teach them the technical expertise, and then come back to the phone so we can properly implement it. That's not free. We have to literally pay, you know, for our staffers to go and acquire those skills. Yeah. You understand? So, you know, it's a business. In business, you have to invest, and the best investment is in yourself.
True. Ken Lusaka is saying, watching down here, thanks for flying my flag, my country flag. You inspire me a lot. I've also started goat farming in Chiboga.
I'm so
still
happy.
Low-key, but God willingly, it will get there by next year.
Congratulations. Good for you. You're in the game, so you're already winning.
Yes. Liam, thumbs up.
Liam Media, my boy. You know, Liam, I have to say a special thank you to you.
Yeah.
You've been very helpful to the VF family. Mm-hmm. I owe you a lamb dinner. I understand your request has been put in already. I'm going to invite you over to the house the next time I actually plan on making lamb.
No.
And of course some of that rice and the bean sauce.
And the mustard
and the face off. The mask off. You know, I got you, bro. I'll take care of you next time. Yeah.
So, yes, keep my contact. Your note whenever you intend to start open. Okay, for help. Okay, that's good. Mm-hmm. Then, Job is in Grafton. What is this? This is my language.
I can't see it. Grafton.
Masipo.
Masipo too. Thank you for everything.
Genius.
Yeah, you got it.
Is what I got. Okay, then it came for me, was like, Tina. The above was just a message in French for Grafton. Yeah. Okay. That is yours. Crowdfunding still. That will be a great idea for us Africans.
Yeah.
That's what something
it would be nice. It would be lovely to actually do, because I would love to set up a model to actually help other fellow farmers out there, you know, to make it a tangible thing where we actually set the example. Mm-hmm. Because let me tell you guys, I actually spoke to Pastor Paul in Ghana. I was supposed to partner with Pastor Paul out there. Mm-hmm. And poor guy has been trying to raise the funds to open his meat processing plant and also start the actual pig farm in Ghana. He wants to convert his his mango farm into livestock production. Mm-hmm. And he's been trying to raise that money now going on 1.5 years. Mm-hmm. And so maybe crowdfunding can be a good source to actually help move, you know, the needle for people that have solid plans, proper training, and a strong foundation to the next level in farming, you know?
Yeah. Great. Rita, hi, Madam Tina. Hello. Hi Rita, how are you doing? Thank you for supporting. Thank you for joining the live stream. I love you guys so much, by the way. That's what you guys have to know. Angelica is saying you're right about Iceland. You guys are more than welcome to check out farming here. according to your last video about milk products, Iceland is a perfect country to come and learn from.
I would love to. I would love to come to Iceland. Let me tell you something. Guys, I'm not a know-it-all. I don't know everything. But believe me, I am a nerd. I love learning. I research
all
every
the time.
region. I research every. I love how they milk production in Denmark, milk production in Holland, Iceland. Like I literally research as much as possible.
True.
Because I feel like I owe it to you guys. I owe it to my staff to try to learn and gain as much knowledge as possible in order for me to intelligently speak on whatever subject as it pertains to farming as possible.
True.
So I do that. I enjoy it actually.
Yeah,
I look forward to
she
that.
added, she was like, Iceland is a small country with less population.
It's very small.
But their
Production is massive.
With their production.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow, that is really so good. Rita is saying thanks you guys for the great work. May God bless you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne Obadia. Hello, she's a YouTuber out there. Hi,
Joanne.
Joanne. Hope you're good. What's up, guys? Thrifty is saying, then Anderson is saying this is the last comment. Okay. Getting interested also in processing plant. Drop figures. We may find out maybe 3 or 4 people here may raise those funds.
It would be amazing, and the beauty with that, so let me just finish this point. In terms of banking instruments right now at home, ask yourself this, right? Unless you're into crypto, unless you're into NFT, which is a very risky, position to put yourself in, how are you gonna get any real return on your current funds when inflation is north of 8%? I want you to really think about that. Even for those of you who have variable annuities, who does have that inflation fighting instrument there, right? But then again, the markets have definitely, particularly the big tech region, where, some of the biggest companies within the big tech space, even the alphabet mutual fund sector, is taking a beating, right? But those are people who are actively in the stock market. But for those of you who are less risk adverse, right? Who are risk adverse, where you have most of your funds sitting in a standard saving instrument, I wouldn't recommend a CD right now. I wouldn't recommend you lock up your money for at least 7 to 10 years, getting less than anything less than 5%, even 5% return on your money. With inflation at north of 8%, you're losing. It's literally like triage. Like if you're getting 5% return on your investment right now, you still have to find a way to make up the additional 3%.
Yes.
But in farming, guys, literally, if you have the right strategy and if you partner with the right team, especially in value addition in terms of processing, the return on your investment is going to be north of 50%, 75%. And before you blink, you're back to the black, and then you basically are riding the gravy train for the next 15 to 25 plus years. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Like, I just want you to think, for those of you that are in the US and around the globe, the company that you buy your favorite sausages from, your favorite yogurts from, when you go to the supermarket to purchase your meat, think about how much money that company is making. That's packaging the meat. That's distributing the meat to your favorite restaurants, to your supermarkets in the region. Think about how much money the person who's actually in charge. You never see those people on television. You don't know who they are. But the next time you see a Maybach being driven on your street, there's a very good chance that person is a farmer or is in the value addition line of farming. Just think about that. Please, think about that.
Quincy is saying exactly. He's agreeing with what you're saying. Guys, this live stream has been for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And tomorrow we're going to the farm. It's time to rest, but really appreciate you guys.
Again, thank you for those of you who actually jumped in the line with the super chat. Thank you in advance for those of you that are gonna hit subscribe before you leave this live stream, and that are also gonna follow us on Instagram, ValueFormUG. And yeah, it's been a pleasure. I'm not usually the one to do this very often.
But I really appreciate you, you know. People really, I always tell you that people really love when you're in the
I like being behind the scenes.
You love behind the scenes, but people actually love when you come here, when you share your experiences, because when they see someone, you know, who has not been in the continent ever, doing really very good work here, they feel really so inspired. So you're really a great motivation to people out there. I know you don't agree with me sometimes, like, oh, I like being behind the scenes, I don't want to be on camera. By the way, I do force him to be on camera sometimes, most times, not even sometimes, because he doesn't want to come here to share all this knowledge. You could be missing all this, but I really appreciate you so much.
Hey, I do it for the family. I do it for the VF fans out there, for those of you who are supporting and who appreciate what we do. So thank you very much. And do you want to read the last comments?
The last comments?
Thank you.
Yes. Collins is saying, sir, joining from Atlanta, I think. This is
ATL, of course.
ATL. If there is one thing you would have done different, what would that be?
I would have came here 15 years sooner. And I mean that with every fiber of my being.
That's nice. Then someone is saying here, Billy is saying, hi, thanks for the great job you guys are doing, especially not hoarding information. Is there a way one could reach you one-on-one? I tried reaching since January on WhatsApp, but no response.
You know, you message this number here on WhatsApp. It's is it
+256?
Yeah, 0772. No, +256 772 036 986.
You can repeat it again. +256
772 036 986.
Can I just write it here?
Yeah, you type it there. Yeah, you message me and then I'll make sure I get you a quick response.
Just repeat for me. 772
036 986.
That is it.
Okay.
Yes. Then I appreciate your effort. Josephine is saying thanks again, guys. Keep up the great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. It has been a pleasure spending time with you guys here. And yeah, we have to be at the farm super early tomorrow.
Super early at 4:30.
And so you guys have a fantastic afternoon for those of you out west. And yeah, and for those of you that are here with us on the East Coast, have a good evening.
Have a good night.
And yeah, we'll see you in another video soon. And yeah, make sure you guys subscribe. Again, I can't say it enough.
Yeah, and please, let me just say this. Please, I know I like concluding for hours, but I'm going to summarize. If you haven't already, guys, go check out our Instagram. That is ValueFormUG. We need followers there as well, because we do put behind the scenes as well.
Yeah.
Other things that
that's where you're gonna see Tina trying to capture these baby goats, and many things go awry behind the scene.
Exactly.
So you'll see that on Value Farm and on Instagram, Value Farm
yes,
UG,
on Facebook as well.
And yeah, so follow us there. You'll see me feeding the chickens once in a while. And of course, interacting with the animals, the things that we don't usually show you guys.
So some of the things, fun things as well. You know, sometimes videos may be too serious, but you know, Instagram will be, you know, we have to put in the fun stuff as well. But we really appreciate you guys so much. Those ones who really want to support Value Farm, support the channel to grow, you can still be a member as well. There's membership there. When you go on our channel, you're going to see member, join, the join button. Just click on it so that you can support us as well. Then there's also a thank you button, whereby after watching the video, please let me finish. I know what you're going to say.
I'm not gonna say anything.
There's a thank you button. So guys, you can also watch a video and say thank you. That will give me some coffee to energize me every morning when I'm going to the farm.
She's gonna need it in the morning, trust me.
Because waking up is not a joke, you know, struggle. There's a lot, of course, you know, to give me energy, of course, to also provide the content that you guys really want. And of course, if you have topics that you really want us to cover, your questions, leave them also in the comments of the video, so that when we do a video, we can be able to answer or even address them. I know we can't finish everything in the live stream or in the videos, but always leave your comments, guys. But really appreciate you guys so much. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Don't keep everything to yourselves, guys, because this is really beneficial to everyone out there. There's someone out there who may be looking for such information, but they can't get it. So if you're lucky enough and you landed onto the channel, please share with your friends, share with your grandmother, share with your parents as well. They would be in need of such information. And of course, people from the diaspora, I really appreciate you guys so much for the love and support. Of course, your person is on the ground, is here to motivate you, inspire you to come. If anyone comes into the country,
I'm here to keep it real.
Yeah.
So thank you for following in advance.
That is so true. And when you're in the country, guys, we can definitely organize so that we can help you.
I want to make sure you guys know this. I'm not fake. So for those of you that are from back home, that are coming to UG for the first time, and you need somebody to actually help you navigate the drudges in terms of you looking for land, looking for farmland in particular, you need guidance, you know, you can reach out to Tina and myself, and we'll do what we can to make sure that we'll put you in touch with the right people that can assist you.
The right lawyers to help you guys, because we have a very good lawyer, guys, by the way. He's been amazing. That's what I should really say.
He's the best.
He's been helping us like in everything. Without him, guys, he's part of the general value farm as well.
Yeah.
So we really appreciate you guys so much. I know my ending is always the longest, but let me end here, guys. Thank you. Good night, good morning, good afternoon. See you guys. Bye-bye. Bye. Wow. Stop.